was fortunate enough to put together a book of experimental poetry and collage text. It was published nearly 2 years ago and featured some of Steve's photography. And in part, the Dissonance project that we cooked up together was a response to that book. As you can see, the artwork, which is predominantly Steve's work, is up on the walls here. The book Dissonance contains all the artwork, nice colour reproductions of the pieces, as well as a whole bunch of brand new collaborative experimental poetry that I was fortunate enough to commission a load of poets, and we had the work exhibited up in Sheffield, and the poets all performed their work. So it's about the launch of this book. Steve tells me that this artwork originally was made from old scraps of stuff and photos and drawings, very much an analog kind of process. And then he started playing around with more digital processes. It kind of features, I suppose, many discussions we've had over the years, nearly 30 years of that time where we all met and what went on, and the people we met and the people that passed away too. And I suppose in some ways the work is the kind of sum of us, and those experiences and people. The place, which is Leytonstone, that's where Claremont Road was. And as with the book, the artworks are dedicated to 3 women who lived in and around that area. Dolly Watson, who was born in Claremont Road in 1901. Fiona, Fee, and Christine. So there will be some copies of this on sale, and even the artworks are actually on sale. Is that right, Steve?
That's right.
How are you? Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to read a few poems, and then we're going to have another reader come up. We're going to take a short break, and then we've got 3 more poets who are going to read, and some of whom are featured in this book, and we'll be reading pieces from this book. So before I start, I hope nobody minds if I take a photo. Thank you very much. Slightly rearrange the room to accommodate. Apparently 3 coachloads have just turned up. They're just trying to they're just trying to find a parking space. So we need an extra few chairs. Okay, I think that will do. Like I say, the Dissonance project started as a response to this book and to show that I'm not massively precious about my work. I'm going to invite everybody to take part in a kind of group collaborative performance with me. First, I'm going to tear a load of pages out of this. Sorry, Gary. Gary co-runs the publishers for this, and also edited it, so I'm going to hand these out, and then I will give you some instructions. Don't worry, it's fun. These are kind of gifts as well. Kill going
Barman.
Well, that's an interesting question.
Okay, so in the spirit of experimental collaborations and goodwill, those are all gifts for you. Do with them what you want, but please don't leave them on the floor. With the wonders of technology, I'm going to make a recording of this, because I think it's quite important. This will never happen again, by the way. A bunch of people here in this venue, at this time of year, this will never happen. This is unique, so we're taking part in a one-off, amazing collaboration. What I'm going to ask you to do is on the count of, when I've counted to 3, if you wouldn't mind standing, those that feel able to, and then I want everyone to read what is on the piece of paper with them. You can read it, you can whisper it, you can sing it, you can shout it, you can do whatever you want. But we're all going to read a bit of Place Waste Dissent, which is a book about protest, dissent, squatting, back in Leytonstone in the early 90s, but it's also about the world we live in now. No, that's good, please do it. I was hoping that everyone would follow, you know, like in church. No? Oh, okay. Right. I don't go to church, by the way. So, it started recording already. We're all feeling ready? Anybody want to have a practice? I will be walking down, so if you're not reading it back, Steve, right? Yeah. Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tourniquet to an ex-boxer's jaw to her front door.
And then the real phone rings.
I go up to her and say, "Hey Flea, how are you doing? It's Paul from Claremont."
An informal, bare arms, hundreds of net busting.
Thank you. That will go on the website. But don't expect any royalties. Right, okay. I think I shall shut up and I shall introduce now a very good friend of mine, a writer, a novelist, a publisher, a journalist, it's important I mention this, whose next novel is out in January 2018, published by Faber and Faber. It's called The Fountain in the Forest. Although I don't think he's reading from it. So I'd like you to welcome Mr. Tony White.
With each new atrocity, each new death in custody, each new racist campaign, each spokesperson wheeled in front of the cameras at New Scotland Yard, visibly getting off on their skills at dissembling for the cameras. Each new atrocity. I think to myself, fuck, you know, somebody really needs to write an avant-garde novel about an alienated police force locked into a cycle of violence and prurient self-justification. Someone really needs to write that. And then I remember that I already did 20 years ago. This is the novel, Charlie Uncle Norfolk Tango. It's been out of print since about a year after it was published. A terrible tragedy befell the publisher, seriously, and they pulled the plug. And this was first performed just down the other end of Bethnal Green Road in Sclater Street at a performance art project that used to exist in a basement there that was called Hollywood Leather. This had its kind of debut there in Hollywood Leather, 1997. I'm going to read a bit of chapter 1. I should say, it really isn't suitable for children. It's really not. But see how you go, okay? But it really isn't. I should also say how it starts is sort of how it goes. So just go with it. Okay. Charlie Uncle Norfolk Tango. And it's all cunting bright lights, ain't it? And driving through this sodding city, and driving real fast, whether we're on a fucking call out or not. And we're great fucking blokes and all, ain't we, eh? Us three. That's me, the Sergeant, old Blakey, best fucking mates and all that shit. And we do have a right old fucking laugh some of the fucking time. Believe you me, just cruising around in this fucking van, and that's all we fucking do all day long. Just drive around looking for fucking trouble, you might say. And most of the solid time we find it and all. And if we don't find it, that trouble or cunting, well, find us most probably. Or some poor cunt will phone 99 solid 9, won't they? And go like, oh please help me, there's trouble coming down my bastarding street. Send the fucking boys around to help me, won't you? And then our radio will go like, Charlie Uncle Norfolk Tango, Charlie Uncle Norfolk Tango, this is Delta, India, Charlie, Kebab, come in please, over. And old Blakey will be like, Roger Delta, what's up mate? And our radio will be like, Roger Charlie Uncle, some poor cunt, just give us a call. There's trouble coming down his street and he's right crapping himself. Go and sort that cunt out for us lads. And old Blakey will be like, Roger mate, on our fucking way, over and out. And he'll switch on our cunting siren, won't he? And our fucking flashing lights, and he'll be like, put your fucking foot down, Sergeant, let's go, mate. So one way or another, we find a bit of trouble most nights, don't we, worse fucking luck? But still, that's what being a copper is all fucking about, I suppose. If we wasn't out there looking for trouble and sorting it out, then all that trouble might just come looking for you, mightn't it? All that fucking trouble come tapping on your fucking window most nights, wouldn't it, eh? So that's why there's got to be fucking coppers in this sodding world, isn't it? Because if there wasn't, you'd soon fucking know about it, wouldn't you, mate? When trouble come tapping on your fucking window and shaking your fucking doorknobs and shit, and you're shaking in your fucking bed and you're totally fucking crapping yourself, ain't you, eh? Because let's face it, most blokes and birds don't like trouble, do they? No, they fucking well don't. And why the bastard in fuck should they, eh? Most blokes and birds don't want no trouble to come tapping on their fucking windows when they're trying to have a cunting shag or a wank or a kip or something. So that's where we come in, isn't it? Me and old Blakey and the Sarge, and that's why we get this fucking van to drive around this sodding city and have a bit of a fucking laughing and all, because we're looking for fucking trouble, ain't we? And when we find a bit of trouble, we fucking deal with it, don't we? We stop that trouble from coming round to your place. But bastard in hell though, there's only cunting 3 of us. For fuck's sake, we can't catch every sodding bit of trouble. We can't catch all the fucking crims, can we, eh? Because that'd be fucking possible, wouldn't it? So there's always going to be some poor bastard what wakes up and finds some kind of killer in his or her bedroom. And then poor cunts just have to sit there and shit themselves with fright, don't they? And they'll be sitting in the middle of their fucking beds with their cunning duvets and shit around them and shaking, and they'll be like, oh no, please don't kill me, mate, there's a bit of cash in the kitchen drawer, mate, you can have it, only please don't kill me, please don't, I promise I won't call the fucking coppers or nothing. But that fucking killer don't give a fucking shit, does he? And it don't matter if you're going to go fuck all for him to nick, does it? If anything, that's even worse, isn't it? Because he'll have the right fucking ump with you. Since he went to all the solid trouble of getting into your fucking place, only to find out you ain't got fuck all, he will not be an happy man. For a start, he's probably already found that couple of quid in the kitchen drawer, and it ain't enough. So he's got to nick a load of other stuff and all to make it worth his while. And probably by the time he finds out you ain't got fuck all, he's going to be in a right bad fucking mood, isn't he? Hang on, what is it? Sorry, I haven't read this very often these days. Probably by the time he finds out you ain't got fuck all, he's going to be in a right bad fucking mood, isn't he? And that's probably when he realises that he ain't alone in the house. And that's when he decides to creep up your fucking stairs and shake on your fucking doorknob. And he's probably got all kind of guns and knives and shit, and he can kill you in about 50 fucking different ways without even thinking about it. So for all of your pleading and begging and the fact that you're totally crapping yourself, you're probably going to die anyway, ain't you? And there's probably fuck all you can bastarding well do about it by that fucking time, because that mad fucking killer ain't just going to stand there staring while you phone the fucking coppers and go like, oh well, there's this mad fucking killer in my fucking bedroom, mate, and I think he's got a gun or a knife or something, please can you send some of your boys round right away, mate? That just ain't gonna fucking happen, is it, eh? As soon as you so much as look at your fucking phone, that mad fucking killer will have chopped your fucking head off, or stabbed you in the arm, or made you suck his dick while he slices off your ears or something, or drawn a target on your chest with lipstick and chucked his knife at you, or pissed on you and then blown your fucking legs off, or carved his name in your skin while he fucks you, or mutilated you, or given you a 1 second head start, or just stabbed you 100 sodding times, or fucking chopped you up and eaten you with a slice of fucking mother's pride, or just chopped off your balls and made you eat the fuckers, or fucking bowled you, or bashed your head in with an hammer or a spade or a sodding plank or a vase or something, or poked your sodding eyes out and wanked over you, or made you eat his shit, or stabbed you while he fucks you, or shot you while he fucks you, or suffocated you with your own sodding pillow while he fucks you, or just suffocated you with a plastic fucking bag, or chopped you up and fed you to your own fucking pets, or chopped you up and put all the bits in the jiffy bags and posted them to your friends, or read his fucking manifesto on your wall with your blood, or broken your fucking neck, or broken your fucking arms and legs and strangled you, or poisoned you with some fucking stuff out of your kitchen cupboard, or just fucking scared you to death, or drowned you in the bath, or drowned you in the bog, or buried you a fucking line, locked you in the wardrobe, tied you up and let you starve to death, tied you up and tortured you for a fuck of a long time, or done a snuff video of you being fucked and killed with your own fucking camcorder, or tied you up and done experiments on you, or tied you up and then set you on bastard in fire, or blown your fucking brains out, shot you in the chest, guts, throat, balls, cunt, back, arse, legs, gob, or right between the fucking eyes, or just slash you with his fucking great knife and watch you bleed to death, or cut your sodding balls off and watch you bleed to death, or done surgery on you with no anaesthetic, using old tools out of your own fucking broom cupboard, and there ain't gonna be fuck all you can sodding well do about it, mate. So that's why there's got to be coppers in the world, isn't it? That's why there's got to be coppers like me and old Blakey and the Sarge. And that's why we just cruise around this fucking city with all its bright lights and all its dark places in this here van and just look for trouble. Because perhaps we'll find that cunt before he gets to your place. Perhaps we'll find that cunt before he comes tapping on your fucking windows with all his knives and guns and shit. That's the fucking plan anyway. So listen, all you bastards out there, all you blokes and birds, can sleep easy in your fucking beds, can't you? And hopefully, if that mad killer comes walking down your fucking street, us three will catch him, won't we? And then he won't come round to your place, tapping on your sodding windows, and he won't come shaking on your fucking doorknob, and he won't nick that couple of quid out of your kitchen drawer, and he won't creep into your room and torture you, and he won't creep into your fucking room and bastard him well kill you, because us three will catch the fucker, won't we? And we'll restrain that cunt soon as look at him, won't we? We'll have him in the back of a fucking ambulance before you can say, Metropolitan Police Force at your fucking service, you cunt. Here they come. And we'll just put the fucking boot in on your behalf. We'll teach that cunt a lesson on your behalf. And we'll do the cunt for whatever the fuck we can on your behalf. And if we have to, we'll make it up on your behalf. That'll teach the cunt not to come creeping round at your place. That'll teach the cunt not to come creeping down your fucking street. He won't fucking do that again in a cunting hurry, will he? Not with us around to teach him some fucking manners. So basically, like I say, that's why you've got to have coppers around. So don't you worry about nothing, alright? Because we're here, ain't we? Us three. Me and old Blakey and the Sarge. We'll fucking well look after all of you lot, won't we, eh? That's our job, ain't it? Thank you. John Appleton.
Children's parties. Yeah.
Nice one, Tony. Controversial, but honest, as always. Yeah, I mentioned about the dissonance thing being about commemoration, and I'd just like to read a poem about a friend of mine, who I knew very well, who lived at number 2. It's called Andy English.
Sorry.
You came back to me last week as a Nick Drake folk song, an East Ham road sign, a Brighton postcode and Cannery Row on a book's spine. May we live forever, you would always insist on Karl Marx, Guy Debord and the Situationists. The cemetery sleeping opposite the railway lines, cheap speed, Tennant's super and Buckfast wine. The gravity of your overdose sucks. This is a cut-up poem from letters from Dolly Watson, who a lot of us got to know in Claremont Road. It's called Number 32. July doorstep, poll tax, court summons, tears the arse out of cloud 9. We protested to a terse court win. Her Majesty's Exchequer spares hurried comment. Sorry, Dolly, look, wretched stock, be gracious. Her Majesty's Exchequer, sensing a delicate knighthood opportunity, says, the QC chaps understand me, and frankly, Dorothy Watson, the Queen, is busy. Picture the old girl. Informal, bare arms, nominated Her Majesty Dorothy of Claremont. I think I'm going to stop now and give everyone a chance to grab a drink. We have 3 poets coming up after a very short break, 10 minutes or so. So do mingle amongst yourselves and reminisce about the old days, and maybe buy a copy of Dissonance, or ask Steve what that picture up there is, the third on the left, what that's about, and stuff like that.
Really busy when we did this, started this, so I kind of had a bit, it was hard to get hold of. So we wrote letters to each other, and they're quite dissonant in their style, and so I'm just going to read my side, and if you want to know what Miggy had to say to me back, you'll have to buy the book and have a look at. Okay, so Miggy. The octave somebody divided into 12 notes. In real terms, the division of the octave could be 64 or 604 notes. What shall we call these notes? A human body. 2 octaves, harmonious. A higher side sound wave folds neatly into a lower one. Here's song, It heightens more questions than it answers. A crow in my garden fighting with two magpies, magpies fighting squirrels, a trapped fox scrabbling, screaming night. Miggy, all songs, the music, the wail, all here at once. Cacophony, sometimes my blood pressure drops, the sound of metal tearing, cold sheets clattering, booming sounds, my ears ringing. Splits into two. 01, 001, 001, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. The dark shore of the sky wraps itself around my shame. Never mother wanted. Tune out with the rest, wrestling with material that seems immovable. Fool on. Edges pushing out, opening. Imaginary objects, I don't approve of anything. No eyes and no feet to dance with. No whisper. Not voice, a fig meant for a tree. Your imagination, what my needs are, or what do they want me to be. Fold two of myself for you. Fold two of myself in two for you. How does a person be heard without incriminating themselves? Sarah. Miggy. Invisibility. Here. Open my mouth to speak, beetles run out. Every time people look away. Lucky. Mouth words can be written down. Can you read silence? Whispers or body language? Poor, feminine. People. There, moving shadow-like. Moving shadow-like. Be careful when you walk along the edges in the dark. Have philosophy. Have a silent maternal body. This tune, microtonal, is about the undowns. Sarah. Miggy, cover up, cover down, cover all around, tongue on beetles, tongue out, tongue in, brazenly crush, brazenly show, brazenly beat, brazenly sell. Product information available in small print, small hands, small girls, product information available in code for back in the small, code for underage, product available in car parks or delivered by taxi, product displayed on walls, capitalist merchandise, money making through penis function, ego function, unrestrained desire for created needs. Stuff, 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 Beatles clicking, fingers clicking, cell phones clicking, clock, clock. Dear Chagrin Gin. Dear Chagrin Din, there is a scar in the city in the sky above the road, a grey smudge. Prophet waving at windows, cheap saw, eye points dark, fingering austerity. Waiting collieries, oaks and nunnery, work or conditions. My grandfather fell down a mine shaft, we're all afraid of falling. Sarah. Dear Miggy, local millers were seen dancing on Blackfriars Bridge in the light of the flames, which was thought to be subversive. The nights are drawing in. Was this the shortest summer ever? Snow fell in June and July. It was said this would lead the lower orders against their betters, would lead the lower orders against their betters. Is the radicals radical? Is the radicals radical? Free radicals can be destroyed by your 5 a day. Miggy, be careful. Dear Miggy, Dolly saw seesaw girls on the street. Fiona saw seesaw child shouldn't see. Horses aren't by nature aggressive, but thundering into Trafalgar Square, horses hidden under cladding, cuts and prices, discount / products, we can see merchandise, we can see. What can we see? Am I invisible? Sarah. Thank you.
if you want to hear, read Miggy's responses to those. There's a copy of the book there with the in. Next up is a good friend of mine and a very good writer, especially of short stories. He also co-runs a publisher called Hesterglock Press, and as I say, those guys took a punt on this. And he also edited this, but that's not the reason why I asked him to come and read. I asked him because he has a new, his first collection of short stories coming out next month, published by Dead Ink. It's called Hollow Shores. I think he's going to read something very dark and dissonant from that. And if I haven't made it clear, well, I know this is important to Gary, he's not a poet. No. Okay. So let's have a round of applause for non-poet Gary Budden.
I might get a bit.
I'm not anti-poetry. I just want to say thanks to Paul for inviting me here. Like I said, we met working on the place, basically the same project, so it's always good fun doing stuff together, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to read a story. It's the final story of my collection, which is out, like Paul said, next month. It's called The Wrecking Days. This was written brand new, especially for that collection. Some pieces have been published elsewhere. It was quite nice to have given free rein to sort of go with whatever crazy impulses I had. So it seemed like the kind of most dissonant work I can think of to do with the book. Not as dissonant as Tony's, obviously. So I'm going to read some of that. It's called The Wrecking Days. The name came later, as we retrofitted chunks of our lives, tied them up with clever titles. We were underachievers with verbal flair, lyrical flourishes, and a sharp wit, packaging our time into neat parcels. The Wrecking Days are, for most of us at least, safely compartmentalised, sitting in a past as unrecoverable as the eroding waterline of a home I haven't visited in years. And events that fell during the Wrecking Days, out on the flat marshes of the Hollow Shore, could be safely explained away. I enjoyed the sleep deprivation, my bleary bloodshot eyes watching shore harriers, a bird endemic to the region, coil and pirouette over the reeds at sunrise, and Jenny, we called the birds sky dancers, lay snoring in my lap, my coat, her improvised duvet, and Danny smoking thick spliffs, telling us his tales of the overgrown hoverport near his home, sons of Cain out on the island, the spearbird his dad swore he saw. And I can still see Helena and Adriana spinning stones towards empty Stella cans, propped on rotting breakwaters, the mud at low tide exposing lugworm coils, strange detritus laid out in patterns, waiting to be decoded. I miss the Wrecking Days. I miss the slow ebb of narcotics leaving my body, pissing in the reeds at dawn to the sound of bird life, buzzing crickets, the strange looped grunt, the mating marsh frogs. It was during the Wrecking Days that I realised that the artificial and natural were not different at all existed in the world, and all was true. Back then we were small town kids, with underground ambitions, heading for places where reality thinned a little, the decadent and divine within could be indulged. The only good system was a sound system, we all agreed, and we had better drugs than you. The raves and parties, dancing around crackling fires that turn blue with salt, they're the core of the Wrecking Days, and I can't ever forget them. But years go by, and now Jenny says I can't let go, that I'm stuck there somehow in the stinking mud, being dragged down below the murky water, choking on reed root, and the plastic shit chucked in there by a world that didn't care. And what scares me is that I find the thought compelling. And then I think of Danny, screaming in a cell, on a ward, or wherever he may be. Over the water from the Hollow Shore, across a strip of water called the Swale, lies Dead Man's Island. It's got a real name somewhere on an OS map. Something official printed on paper, but as Danny was fond of saying, the map is not the territory. The map is wrong. Living in London taught me that. So on a clear day and at low tide, you could see the rotted and rusted remains of one of the prison hulks, that had gone down in a hazy past. Scuttled or an accident none of us really knew. Historians still speculate about what really happened, as if that matters. But the French bodies that washed up on the hollow shore and Dead Man's Island joined a soil that already held the bones of their comrades, grisly relics from the days of old Boney, prisoners who died on the ships, ravaged by cholera, dysentery, the busy fists of the English, forgotten bodies in shallow graves, buried beneath the soil of our hollow shores, so Dead Man's Island. And it made me think of the Choose Your Own Adventures I still have copies of. I could imagine a pulp paperback depicting a skeletal soldier rising from the mud, a place of death and life. During the wrecking days, I'd look at the island and wonder if there was a time when the world was never at war. The island was home to heaving clouds of Brent Canada geese, scoter and squaw, black-throated divers, occasional sightings of little waterfalls out on the horizon. Danny's old man Fen, birdman that he was, claims to have seen a pair of nesting spearmen on the north shore of the island. That's impossible, of course, but Fen and Danny are like bullshitters. It was a family thing, bred in the bone, charismatic and unreliable. That bird was extinct, as much in mythology now as the sons of Cain, bestial half-men that archaeologists claim to have found evidence of in the island soil. Those are just the mangled remains of the French prisoners. That was the counter-argument, but the sons are the popular folk devils of the area, grinning knob-men that the people of the coastline need more than they could ever admit. The sons lead a whole host of strange things that were said to have once inhabited these wetlands. Black curlews, white herons, the ghost of a booming bird that resembled a crane, spearbirds, and the straw revenants. The very last time I saw Danny, before he went under or fucked off, got banged up, topped himself, we sat in a pub in Tottenham drinking a new fashionable brand of IPA many years after the wrecking days. Danny had this habit of speaking in sound bites as if he were quoting choice nuggets from a larger text only he had access to. His eyes were calm, and the strange things he said were like statements of literal fact. What I mostly remember him saying was, memory is a marsh. But I don't want to paint too rosy a picture of the wrecking days. I hope I'm clear-headed when I look back. And obviously there were things that were fucked up and it was irresponsible and dangerous to our health, but I loved it. I may in the end have lost a friend, but I met and I fell in love with the woman who remains my partner to this day. I saw sunrises that could stop your heart, birds that could snatch the breath from your lungs and carry a loving soul to heaven. I saw things that simply could not be. And some of us can't deal with that. Some of us can, and if we can, we deal with it by shutting parts of ourselves down. Danny couldn't. He said it was because simply he saw things too clearly, like he saw the world for what it really was, and that was what was making him come undone. So I imagine my friend seamed and stitched, waiting to be pulled apart, the future unravelling. So, when we all agreed that the straw revenants could not be real, that we'd fed for too long on a diet of cheap speed, indie horror films, and C.L. Nolan stories, I knew Danny didn't believe it. He knew he had to try and pass himself off as any other contented inhabitant of the grey towns we grew up in. But I knew the stitched things with faces of dirty sackcloth and bodies of sharp straw were as real to him as the sky dancers and the marsh frogs. And what can I say? The Hollow Shore it does have a mythic quality to it. There's just something about the place. So, I feel the pull of the marshes myself, and even now I find myself walking the cracked concrete and dirty tarmac of Tottenham, and I imagine boggy ground, sibilant sedge all around me. So at weekends you'll find me down on the London marshes, watching the river rats and their boats. I listen to the hum and crackle of the pylons, watch young men and women jog by red-faced along the towpath, listen to the hoot of coots, and I feel at ease. I read about a condition called Jerusalem syndrome. Certain people who visit the holy city are just more susceptible to the power of the place. And it doesn't matter a bit of what religion they claim to be a follower of, anyone can be taken by it. They think they're a messiah, a new god, someone's salvation, that they see things for real for the first time. The place unravels them, and then the Israelis wheel them off to a treatment centre. The Hollow Shore, it's like that. Thank you.
And the final poet tonight is not only a poet, but he's also a playwright and a very accomplished one. Roy McFarlane took part in the commissioning of collaborative poems for the Dissonance project when we were up in Sheffield, and turned out a stunning piece with a sound artist called Linda Camp, which you can see on YouTube. I most definitely recommend this book, his latest collection on Nine Arches Press, which came out last year, called Beginning with Your Last Breath. Could you please put your hands together for Mr. Roy McFarlane?
Okay. Have you enjoyed today, this evening?
Yes.
So much you enjoyed this evening?
Yes.
We started off good, didn't we? Really good. So let's kind of finish the evening off. Hope you'll buy the Dissonance. That's the most important thing on the Dissonance. But if you could kind of slip one of these with it as well, I'd really appreciate that too. I'm just going to read you one poem out of it, and I'm going to take you back to the 80s. And anybody remember a thing called the Tevitt test? Yeah, the cricket thing. If you didn't, to prove if you were English or British, especially the kids that were born here from migrant families. If we saw the West Indies came to play against England, we were supposed to be supporting England. Hell no. All the Caribbean kids were always supporting West Indies, but that didn't do anything for our English. We were still proper English people, as you can hear with the accent, isn't it? But here we go, the Tevitt test. The Tevitt test. That litmus test of Britishness. Dip us deep enough, and we should come out red, white, and blue. But we wore the colours of Jamaica when the West Indies came, cricket team, and when the cricket team blackwashed England, or turned to the Reggae Boys for the faintest hope of victory when they reached the World Cup final. Long before the Tevitt test, we, young black British, have been plunged in the cauldron of brutishness and found no black in the Union Jack, except for those Olympic occasions where Daley Thompson, Tessa Sanderson, and Linford Christie wrapped themselves in the Union flag. Maybe it was a hiatus from the hate, a jubilee for all things sable. Yet the reality, blacks and Asians were more used to the engulfing experience of John Barnes. That genius, the wizard that scored against Brazil, come through their defense with pure beauty, only to be reminded a few days later on a plane returning home, filled with the England team and supporters. That goal doesn't count, the one scored by the nigger. And that's a true story. And that was the days when the English team and the supporters shared the same plane coming back, kind of thing. So there's more of that in there. There's also a story about me as finding out that I was adopted at an early age. I was about 13 when I found out that I was adopted. So there's a journey about me finding my birth mother. And then at the end of the book, there's a journey about my journey with my life mother. It was the most incredible. Sometimes I've looked at being adopted as a rejection from my birth mother. But some of my real cool pals have said, no, you were a gift to your life mother and father. And so I was blessed with the most incredible life mother. And the ending shows you the journey that I took with my mother as she was going through cancer and unfortunately passed away. So if you could, and if you desire, it's all in there. Politics, love, and money. I'm going to finally finish because we're here for dissonance. And it was a great thank you for calling me on board and pairing me up with Linda. I do advise you will not get the full essence of this unless you go on YouTube and watch what me and Linda did. Linda is a unique and wonderful poet. She plays with sound. She plays with sound bites and things like that. And so you'll see my poem on one side, and you'll see Linda's response to that. That is supposed to be sound. So there's snip, 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 and there's this kind of radio sound on the other side. But look on it on YouTube, and when you get a chance, look at my poem again. Okay. And I guess I was thinking about especially in the summer, I was thinking about all the madness that was going on. From Grenfell to, I think over a period of 8 days, there were 3 Black Death in custody. America, Lord, Trump, all that kind of madness, right? And I'm thinking this is pure dissonance. In times of dissonance. Here at our feet, there's a rising volume, a ravishing of the earth, a choking of the people of the land, desiring sweet waters to quench their thirst. And the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. In the discord of the haves and the madness of the have-nots, not lords, not masters, not owners, not nothing. We are the living, the fruit of the land that should ripe in the harmony of love. Yet we continue to play a discordant sound, as if we own the land, and yet the land owns us, our children and our children's children. There's a drip, drip effect. We can barely hear it. The drip, drip that stains a porcelain sink. The drip, drip that forms the tip of a stalactite. The drip, drip that turns stalactite to falling spear. The drip, drip that corrodes our plurality. The drip, drip of hate that bores into the cranium of humanity. The hate. The hate. The stifling of the breath of others in a cacophony of noise. When did we become others? When did the marginalized appear? And when did we become us and them? Who made the cut, the break, the fracture, the dissonance? Let's begin with the engulfing sound of nothing. Weightless void, somewhere in the space between lightness and darkness, floating on the stillness of vibrations, lost on the wind of equanimity, a leveling of the mind and soul where we might find a thing called love. The beginning of love is when the volume is turned down and we listen. Listen to the wings of a butterfly. Become aware of the fall of a leaf. Eavesdrop on the discourse between the night and the dawn, and be carried away on the march of the unified colony of ants. Now is the time for healing. Where bones that were once broken, we come together and catch the covering, become splinters, side by side until there's a binding, a calcifying of bones to make whole, to make stronger, to make these bones live again. So it's in that bottomless well of silence that we drop ourselves, drop like a stone, and when the time is right, you will hear the echo of love. Thank you very much.
very timely words. Thank you all for coming down and supporting me and Steve with this project, with the artwork. Do look at it, and yeah, it's nice. It's good. I've enjoyed this evening very much. Can we just give a big hand to Tony White, Gary Budden, Sarah Scott Thorne and Roy McFarlane for their stunning and earth-shattering words this evening. Thank you very much. And I should also mention a big thank you to the Gallery Cafe and the staff for staying on. I think we need to be out of here for 9. We've got some time maybe to have another drink and a natter, maybe buy a book or at least browse through it. We're going to go off to a pub somewhere, I think, and I don't know, have a cocktail or something, or whatever people do these days. Thank you all for coming along. Cheers.
Thank you.